Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And Happy New Year. Yay!
I mean, not quite New Year, but almost.
It's almost
We're so
New Year.
close. We're at like the 99% title,
2022. That's crazy. That's a mouthful, first of all.
I know.
So
2022. It's too many twos.
Too many twos. Also, this is the last episode of 2021. That's crazy. We've been doing this for a whole year almost. I literally cannot believe that.
That is insane. Like we've said this intro
so
almost 50 times.
Like almost 50 times. Like that's insane. How is it possible? I don't know. Thanks for sticking with us. Also, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And for the first time ever, I can say rate us on Spotify. For all you Spotify listeners.
I kind of forgot about that already, but yeah, Spotify added where you can rate shows now. I don't think you can do reviews yet, but you can rate us up to 5 stars.
Yeah, so rate us 5 stars, please.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds, literally.
Literally. Yes, I rated myself, my own podcast, a 5-star. So
yeah, I mean, I
had to see how easy it was, and let me tell you, it's very easy. So
it is.
Do that. I'm trying to think. I don't really know anything.
You don't know anything.
The only thing that I do know is that I haven't watched the new Spider-Man yet, and I'm mad about it. But the next time you hear from me, I will have seen it. So.
See, and I still don't, like, I'm going to see it, but I don't have any solid plans yet on when. So.
Well, that's tragic. You better see it. I don't know all I got to say is you better see it, because I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about it.
Oh, I know. It might be in the new year, but we shall
see. The disrespect.
I know it's gonna be in theaters for a long time because people love this movie. So.
Oh, for sure, it's making so much money. Anyway, that's the Marvel corner for the day.
Oh wait, one more thing about the Spider-Man movie. Are you gonna go dressed up as Spider-Man?
I was trying to think. I don't have a shirt. Maybe. Anyway, no.
I've seen so many people like go dressed up as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the suit,
it's so fun.
If I had the suit, I would totally do it, but I don't. So I'm not gonna buy it.
Right.
But I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna wear the suit when you go see it?
I mean, honestly, I might have to go and get one. I mean, we'll see.
Honestly.
If I do, you'll know about it. I'll post some pictures.
True. Wait, you've seen like the Spider-Verse, right? The cartoon Spider-Man?
Yes.
You know, like the girl Spider-Man, Gwen or whatever her name is?
Yeah.
That's the Spider-Man suit I want.
Oh, yeah,
the purple one.
Oh, maybe I should go dress up as her.
No, don't take my idea. That's not fair.
Okay, you're right.
No, you can. Anyways, I have a really crazy story, and I don't think you're ready for it, and I know I'm not going first, but I just had to say that you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I'm not, but by the time I'm done with mine, maybe I will be.
True.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, so should we get started?
Yes.
Okay, so I was trying to find something that had to do with the new year, but I really couldn't.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I couldn't find anything either.
Yeah, maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. Just have to figure something out. But this episode, I have an Australian story.
Rocky.
Of the Devil's Pool.
Oh, I think I've heard of this. Actually, maybe. Potentially.
Or it's like the Devil's Pool or the Devil Pools. You know, either way.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. They are like natural bodies of water in Australia. At Babinda Creek. See, there's a lot of words that I might be pronouncing wrong, but you know, we already know the drill.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So this creek has an area that's filled with granite boulders. So like tons of rocks. It's in Babinda in Queensland, Australia. I'm saying this as if I know where that is. I should look on
I know a lot of people that's been there, so.
Okay. Yeah, I would actually go and visit this. After I tell you, you can decide if you want to or not, but.
I mean, if you're saying that you want to go, I'm sure I will.
Okay, after this statement, maybe you don't want to. It has taken 20 lives since 1959,
Okay.
as reported in October of 2020.
Yikes.
Some say it's like more like 17 or 19, so it's not really totally sure on how many people have died here. And some, it might be even more than that, and they just have gone unrecorded. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty dangerous
Yeah.
place. And it was also on an Australian TV program called Message Stick, where they investigated the deaths of people over the years through interviews and testimonials in this area. So there's that. And there is like a designated swimming area to keep people safe. But that wasn't set into place until like recently.
Of course it wasn't.
Yeah. We'll get to more of that later. But that's just, the main gist of it right now. So there is like an indigenous legend behind this waterway and why it is so dangerous. So let's get into that. So this is basically how the Babinda boulders were formed and how like it got to be so dangerous, because like it's dangerous because there's a lot of rapids, right?
Oh, yeah.
That go through there. There's like a calm area and then it goes straight into like rapids.
Yeah.
Where they'll just like pull you under.
That's so scary.
Yeah. So here's how the legend goes. Ulana, she was a young woman from the Yindinji tribe. See, I'm probably saying that wrong. She was a young woman and she was engaged to a tribal elder named Warunu. It is like kind of like an arranged marriage,
Yeah.
They're just like, you guys are gonna get together. Just
Could not
because
be me.
we feel like it.
Could never be me.
I know. She probably wasn't too happy about it.
Oh, I'm sure she wasn't.
So they were either engaged already or like married when another tribe was passing through, and they ended up like making them feel welcome, which was custom. So like when a tribe was passing through, they would let them stay with them and feed them and stuff. So I mean, that's really nice. I feel like that's
Oh, yeah, that's super nice.
such a great custom to have.
It really is.
But yeah, so they were either engaged or like already married by this point, and it varies in different stories, from what I saw. But either way, Ulana met a young man from this other tribe.
Ooh.
And it was love at first sight.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. He was a warrior named Daiga, and so they both actually fell in love. It wasn't just her. They fell in love and they ran away to be together because they knew like they would not be accepted.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since she was already with this other guy and it was a tribal elder, like an important person. Right? So they ran away to be into the wilderness together. And yeah, so they went up the valley and they camped near the water's edge, near the body of water, the Devil's Pools, which I don't know if they were called that then, but maybe.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So they spent a few like really happy days together, and they were just like living their best lives, But like these people were looking for them. So the elders, like, they sent people out to search for these two, and eventually they did find them.
No.
And Daiga was taken, and the tribe was, like, banished. They were never to return. They were, like, shamed because, one of their people took
Yeah.
this bride. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. And Ulana, she didn't want to leave either. She was like, don't take me away from him. But she was taken back to her tribe, but she ended up escaping.
Ooh.
So she ran away, but she didn't run to her man. She unfortunately
Yikes.
ran into the water.
Why would she do that?
She was really upset, okay? She's like, I'm never gonna see him again.
Okay, I guess.
So her crying actually made the pools turn into torrents, which are like strong and fast moving streams of water. And tons of water spilled out, just all because she was crying and like really upset.
Yeah. She was very upset, clearly.
Yeah. And huge boulders were thrown up out of the ground.
Oh.
And as she jumped into the water, she became part of the stones, and now she guards the area where it all happens.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And locals believe that Ulana's spirit still haunts the devil pools, and she will pull young traveling men to their death.
Wow.
Just as the love of her life was like a young traveling man. You know, maybe she's trying to find him.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
and like is getting confused or something. I don't know.
Or maybe like the people who took him were also like young traveling men, and so that's why she's mad, like getting revenge, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could be that. A lot of the stories say that like, oh, it's because she's just like trying to find him again. But it's never gonna happen.
No, it's not. Tragically,
Yeah.
hate to break it to her, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. It's so sad. So yes, that is the story of Ulana. So there is a sign warning about the dangerous waters. So it's like super deep, as I said, because she cried, you know.
Yeah, because
it's all her tears.
Yeah, it's a lot of tears.
Super deep, fast flowing, and there's like underwater rocks. So if you put all those together, super dangerous.
For sure.
If you fall in, like, you can really easily drown or like get wedged in between rocks and drown. And,
oh no.
It's really bad. So as I mentioned, this body of water like took many lives over the years, possibly even more than what was recorded, because it's kind of hard to find the bodies because of the water, like how deep and dangerous it is. Like, it's hard getting down there. So if a drowning is witnessed, obviously it's easier to be recorded than if nobody saw you fall in.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know where I'm coming from? Like, that's how people think more people could have drowned here.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a story of one victim. In 2008, James Bennett was traveling from Tasmania. He went to the pools with his friends, and they were like all swimming together, and his friends later described the waters as really calm, and they say like he suddenly was pulled backwards by an invisible force.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Like pulled backwards towards the rapids.
Oh no.
And he tried to grab onto a branch, but it broke and he went under the water to his unfortunate death.
Oh, that makes my stomach drop. Like,
I know.
Being held underwater scares me so bad. Like, I would not want to drown ever.
No, definitely not. And especially since they said it was an invisible force.
Right. Like, are
Like,
they
some
watching this
people-
happen? Like,
Yeah, they were all just like playing around in the
back.
water.
That's so scary.
So people say that it could have been her, like Ulana.
Yeah,
Pulling
probably
him.
was.
But his death was actually what made them put up a sign warning about the rapids. And this was in 2008. Like, that's recent.
2008.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like, there wasn't really a sign until then.
I mean, that sounds about right, but still, that's just awful.
So the sign says, "This creek has claimed many lives. Wet rocks are extremely slippery. Beware of rapidly rising water levels. Do not swim in Main Creek downstream of this point. This track leads to lookouts only. For your safety, keep to walking track provided." So they don't want you to swim here at all.
Yeah.
But people do, like, all the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they do.
So, yeah, it's bad. There is another story that's, like, popular around here. There were a few, but some of these stories didn't really have that much information, so I didn't write them down.
Yeah.
But one disappearance that was reported, it doesn't have a date associated with it, but it's, like, spoken about by elders and, like, local people. So, the story goes that a young couple stood together on the rock platform. They were, like, looking out over the Devil's Pool, and the water suddenly rose and took them into the water.
Okay. That's normal. Not.
Like, they weren't even swimming in here. The water rose and took them into the water. The girl ended up surviving, and the man did not.
Okay, so it sounds like we're fine if we go here because we're women.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, most of these occurrences are men just drowning.
Oh, yeah. Sign me up. I'm ready to go.
Young traveling men. So if you're local, you're fine. If you're older, you're fine.
Right. Yeah, right. But if you're like a traveling young man, you better avoid it at all cost.
Exactly, exactly.
Because what's her name wants you?
Ulana.
Ulana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I have a little bit more to go. So despite the dangerous waters, it's still, like, a big tourist attraction, you know, as of course it is.
Oh, yeah. Probably even more of a tourist attraction now than before.
I know, right? And it has 4.7 stars on TripAdvisor.
I mean, that's pretty good for 20 ducks.
Yeah, I know. People rate it really well because of the beauty. Like, it's really pretty.
True. I've definitely seen a picture of it.
I know. I need to get some. I should have saved one to send over to you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's rated really well because of the beauty, but if you read, like, deep enough into reviews, you'll find that people, like, are warning you to not go here because you'll drown.
Wow.
And telling how dangerous it is and stuff, so yeah. Yeah, the Devil's Pool or not, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go or not. What do you think?
I mean, I definitely think I want to go. It sounds beautiful. Sounds like it's not a threat to me because I'm not a man. So I'm fine to go.
I mean, maybe.
You know, if Ulana really thinks that it's my time, then it's my time.
Oh my gosh, that's what you're going to say?
Like, I think that I'll be fine. So I'm so down to go. I think, so I've definitely, like, heard of these pools before, the Devil's Pools, and I'm pretty sure I've seen a picture, or at least, like, a picture of, like, a hole similar to these. And
right.
I won't lie, though, it is scary to think about being dragged down into that hole.
Right.
This is not really off topic, but have you seen those videos of, like, where people, like, jump in a tiny hole and it, like, throws them out, like, of another side of, like, the river? I don't know. It's, like, a lot on my For You page on TikTok right now.
Oh my god, wait. You need to send me those.
Okay, I will. They'll give you a lot of anxiety because you have to hold your breath for, like, 30 seconds. Like, if you know, the people that jump into because it's, like, water. I don't know.
Oh my god, wait, how do you know you're not going to drown?
That's the thing. People in the comments are always like, and if it were me, there would be, like, a board stuck and I would drown in there. And I'm like, literally, that would be me.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Scary. Scary. I don't know.
Yeah, but this story also, the legend of Ulana with her, like, forbidden love, it definitely reminds me of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like, the original, Shakespeare stole the story from these
Right, because when did that
people.
happen? Like, far before?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't have any year, but, like, it's an indigenous story, so, like, it has to be really
far,
old, right?
far before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Shakespeare, copyright.
Exactly. He stole the story.
Not much we can do about it now, I guess.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, that's crazy though. Like, I wonder how many people. I hope no more people die there.
I know. I think the sign definitely helps, like a warning.
Yeah.
Um,
If we go, are you swimming?
oh, I don't know.
I am.
Oh,
I mean, you can't
okay.
go and not swim, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess so. I've seen pictures, and the waters really are calm in some areas. Like
Yeah, see,
it
we're
must
usually fine.
just it must just like have a cutoff where it just starts to drag you
Yeah, like
under.
it gets dangerous in some parts. I'm sure it does.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
that is crazy and scary. And I have another scary story for you.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Is it gonna be really scary?
Maybe. We'll see. Um,
Okay.
so this week I am doing. Now this is what it's called. It's called The Legend of the Amherst Mystery. And while it's called a mystery, it's not really a mystery. It's more of a legend.
Okay.
But I guess we can classify it as both a legend and a mystery this time.
I feel like I've heard of that before, but I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I think you probably have. It's a pretty well-known story. So, the Great Amherst Mystery is a very notorious case of reported poltergeist activity in Amherst, Nova Scotia, in Canada.
Oh,
And
okay.
it happened, the paranormal, like, possession happened between 1878 and 1879. So, a long time ago.
Yeah, but not as far back as mine.
No. Definitely not.
But pretty long time
Yeah,
ago.
pretty long time ago. So obviously, like, even back then, it was a crazy story, and people were talking about it, and it actually became the subject of an investigation by a man named Walter Hubbard, who was like an actor, and also he had like a huge interest in like the psychic phenomena or whatever, the psychic realm. So he ended up writing a book about it. And so that's where most of this comes from, but also other news stories from the time. So let's just get into it. The story itself is centered around a girl named Esther Cox. And she lived in a house with her sister Olive and then Olive's husband Daniel and their two young kids. So there's going to be a lot of people in this story. We're going to try to keep it straight.
I love the name Olive though.
I know, me too. I was thinking that too. I was like, okay, honestly, even Esther, that's pretty cool. It sounds grandma, but I like it. Like Esther and Olive are as sisters. That's cute.
Yeah, that is really.
Come on,
I love it.
1800s names. I love it.
Like I don't like olives as a food.
Oh,
but
no.
Like olive as a name.
Yeah, hate olives
Amazing.
as a food. Love it as a name though. So yeah, Esther was just like chilling with her sister and her fam. So she was just living there, and also, one of Esther and Olive's brothers also lived there. So Olive was really taking in the family. So, but basically, like, they were all just one big happy family living in this house. And so, according to Hubble's account, things started happening near the end of August in 1878. And it was like immediately after Esther had just turned 18. And she was actually sexually assaulted by one of her like male friends. So that's when this started happening. So, I mean, that's important to take in because it could be like why it started happening, or maybe it just was, convenient timing. Don't know. So, regardless, though, that like traumatic event obviously left her like in great distress, and it was only like a month or two after this that the stuff started happening. So, what would happen, you ask? Well, it started out with the typical boring, like, knocks and bangs and, like, rustling and footsteps through the night. But eventually, after, that was going on, and they were just like, oh, it's just the house, typical.
Yeah, it's the house settling.
It's the house
right?
settling. Like, no, the house is not settling. But eventually, Esther began suffering from seizures that made her body go, like, visibly swell and cause, like, super high fevers.
Oh no. That's awful.
And so obviously they called in the family doctor after a couple of these happened, and they were like, "What's up with Esther?" And literally, like while the doctor was there, because you know it's the 1800s, the doctors are coming to their house still. So while the doctor,
okay. Side note: I always thought that was so cool. Like,
right? Why can't we
for
do
a
that
doctor,
now? Like
yeah,
if
like
I'm
doctors doing house calls.
exactly like if I
so
am
convenient.
so sick, like enough to go to the doctor, like first of all, I have to be very sick, but like it probably means that I'm not well enough to get up and physically go to the doctor. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like the convenience factor is just
exactly
amazing.
like, let's bring that back, doctors. Hear me out.
Honestly.
So anyway, so literally the doctor is examining her, right? And as he's there, the things in the room started moving by themselves. And then he started hearing scratching noises like all throughout the house. And then, literally, as Esther is laying in her bed, the words, quote, "Esther Cox, you are mine to kill," appeared on the wall above her headboard in the bed that she was laying at.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
What? How did they appear on the wall? Like in blood?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So. You're like, what? Just like literally, what is going on? So, the next day, the doctor obviously like leaves, runs out, and is like, I'm not messing with that.
Right.
But he does prescribe her some sedatives to help her calm down and get some sleep. Because he was like, I might not be able to do anything else, but I can at least, you know, she can sleep through it. The demon possession.
Right.
So one important thing to notice is that things would move around and like all these same noises were heard while she was sedated. So like some people are like, oh, Esther's causing it. Well, maybe she was causing some of it, but she's completely medically knocked out, unconscious. And her family was still seeing stuff happen. So, you know.
So it's like, it's not her just like faking it, doing random things.
Right.
It's like,
right. It's like there is proof of it when she's not around. So, actually, when she was sedated, they would try to talk to her to get the spirit that they thought was possessing her to answer some questions. Okay?
Oh my god. That's so crazy.
I know, that's really
like,
crazy.
what is your name?
What is your name? Right. So they came up with like a tapping system where 1 tap for no, 2 taps for yes. Right?
Okay.
So, and they even like, they just literally asked her questions and she would tap once or twice. And so some people believe that she was never actually really medically sedated and that the whole family was just doing this for show. Is basically what it is. Also, this is a conspiracy.
Okay.
But other people believe like she was completely sedated and like there is a demon possessing her and it was like speaking through her. You know, I mean, you could really argue for either one. So this went on for months and it became super well known, like around the town, and people would come to their house because they like, I want to see it for myself. And so, yeah, they did end up seeing it for themselves. A lot of people, like literally most people were like, yeah, like, no, something's going on here. It's scary.
Okay, that's a little insane. Like, can you imagine just being sick and like laying in bed and then people just come and show up?
Right.
And just come to watch you.
Right. They're like, yeah, we're going to watch you be sick. But no, eventually she stopped having the seizures, I think.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know. But I'm assuming because she was like, you know, had medicine. But, you know, even if she had the seizures or not, it doesn't matter because in December, so we started this story in August, it's December, Esther got sick with diphtheria. So that's pretty serious sickness back in the day.
I've definitely heard of that, but I don't remember what that means.
No, me neither. And I also don't have it written down here, so, but I know it's not good. It's not good. So, so here's what's interesting. She obviously, diphtheria was very contagious. You didn't want to get it back then. You didn't want to get even the cold back then. But what's interesting is that, so she was sick for 2 weeks and she actually was like bedridden for those 2 weeks. And so she went and stayed with one of her other sisters in Sackville, New Brunswick to like, because she was living with so many people in her other sister's house. She didn't want to expose all of them, so she decided to go stay with her one sister. It was just one sister. So during those 2 weeks that she was at her other sister's house, there was apparently absolutely no activity at Olive's house. So that's a little sus. Can't lie. But the second she was better and she returned to Amherst, the mysterious events began again. And this time it was even worse than before. And things actually started to occur not only around Esther, but all around the house simultaneously. So it's just like, I believe it, and then I don't believe it. I think she's a con artist, and then I believe it, and then I think she's a con artist again. So I just don't know.
Do you believe she had the diphtheria though?
She definitely had the diphtheria. She definitely did have that.
Okay, I just looked up what it is though. It says that it's a serious infection of the nose and throat that's easily preventable by vaccine. But
not in the 1800s, yeah.
And it's airborne respiratory.
For sure. So it was super contagious.
So yeah. Sounds like it.
Sounds not fun at all.
Yeah.
So after she returned, surviving diphtheria, which was rare back in those times, Esther claimed that she would see the ghost of, like the thing that was like possessing her, and that apparently she didn't even say if it was a girl or a boy. She was just like, it threatened to burn the house down unless Esther left.
Oh my god! Wait, what?
And so now I'm thinking like, okay, so this entity, just doesn't like Esther. You know?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what it sounds like. And that when she left, it was chilling. But now she came back and it's mad again. So I don't know. I truly don't know what's up.
Okay. Or if it is Esther just faking it, then she's probably like, I just don't want to be here. So I'm just going to threaten to burn the house down.
That's very accurate. But also, would she burn the house down? Because she was so caring about her family that she went and stayed with another sister to not get them sick. So I don't think she would actually burn the house down. I just don't know. But in January of 1879, it was just too much for her sister and her family. So Esther ended up moving out and moving in with another local family that like just took her in. I guess she just did not want to live on her own.
She's really just moving all around, isn't she?
Right.
Like going from house to house.
Really, though. But even in her new house, the manifestations around her continued and were witnessed by all of her new people that she was living with. And some of them even literally claimed to have conversed with the ghost many times. So, but not like talking, but by like the tapping sounds. But not always coming from her.
Yeah.
But
did they figure out why the ghost doesn't like her though?
No. Nope. Nope. Okay. Nope. So yeah, so people still just don't know. Like, is she doing this or not? Don't know. But on many occasions, Esther was actually like injured by the ghost. First of all, as I said, she had seizures that and would just start swelling and having high fevers out of nowhere. Like, for no reason. The doctor never even did figure out, what was wrong with her. So, that's weird. And then she would have, bruises. And eventually, it just kept getting worse and worse. It wasn't getting better. And she would have, injuries on places on her body that would be, almost impossible to cause on yourself. So, for example, she was actually stabbed in the back with a clasp knife.
What?
By the ghost, she says. Yeah.
Oh my god. Can you imagine just... That's kind of just funny. How do you get stabbed in the back by a ghost?
Right, right. Okay, Esther. Honestly, I believed you until you said you got stabbed by the ghost.
Yeah, what?
Literally what? But, so yeah, at this point, this is 6 months of this happening. It was super popular. This story was all kind of over the world. And Esther was actually investigated by some local men that worked at some school in the science field. So, but yeah, nothing. I couldn't even find anything about what those men found in their investigation, but so maybe that wasn't real. Don't know. So
yeah,
Esther,
they just didn't find anything.
right? They were like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so Esther, she just kept moving around a little bit, and like every year she would just move to a new place, and which also I think is telling though, because I'm like, does she think it's the place? Because it's obviously her that's haunted, you know?
Right.
Like
yeah.
if it's following her.
Or if we're going with the theory that she's just faking it,
Yeah.
then maybe she like moves to a new house right when people start getting suspicious.
I mean, that's okay. That's a really good. That's true.
And yeah, because like you can't keep it up with the same people for that long, you know?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Or she's just trying to get more people to believe her. I don't know.
Yeah. All good theories. So in the summer of 1879 was when Walter Hubbard arrived, who was the guy that wrote the book on this whole thing. So Walter actually spent like a few weeks with Esther and her family, and reported to have personally witnessed moving objects, fire, and other items appearing out of literally nowhere. And he claimed that he saw, like, literally he said fire would just appear. Like something would just catch on fire immediately. And claimed that he saw this stuff happen. Like sometimes Esther was in the room, sometimes like completely like elsewhere, like had nothing to do with it. So don't know. He also claims to have seen some of the attacks on Esther with sharp objects. He didn't see the knife incident, but he did see like little safety pins, like get like literally she was just stabbed with them. Like she just like found safety pins like in her. I don't know. Crazy. And she would also no, go ahead.
Okay. Can you imagine seeing this happen? Like stuff just floating and then just like
no.
Like a safety pin floating and then just hitting this girl.
No.
Like what?
I literally don't. And I so badly want to think that she was just like making all this up. But can you imagine if she literally wasn't making this up and nobody believed her? Like, if she actually was possessed this whole time and she was just like, nobody believes me. The ghost keeps stabbing me with these pins and these knives. And everybody thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah, that's just traumatic.
It's so traumatic. It really is. So, I already said this, but this actually kept happening throughout her life, is that she would have fits of extreme swelling and pain that would come out of nowhere. And so, regardless of if this was a ghost or a demon or just literally like her mental illness or just like anything, or if she was just a con artist and was doing this, regardless, she was suffering. Physically, even just like swelling and like having those fevers. So like, you know, that's sad. And also, for a little while, there was only one entity, but towards the end, she said that there were multiple people possessing her. And I found 4 names of people that apparently were possessing her. And that would be Peter Cox, which I'm assuming is a relative because her last name is Cox. Mary Fisher, Jane Nickel, and Eliza McNeil. So,
okay.
Yeah, so those were the 4 things apparently possessing her.
Okay, but how is there 4?
No, okay.
See,
this is where, now we're spiraling into a bad direction. Because with Walter's professional help, Esther Cox embarked on a speaking tour.
Oh my god. What?
So Esther went live. She had a little bus tour. They literally went on tour so people could meet her ghost, her 4 ghost friends.
No, she's faking it. Like, there's no way.
Right. So, but...
Wait. Imagine being the ghost. Like, oh, I finally get my tour.
Like, we finally got our tour. That's so funny. Like, that's so funny. Also, I'm just imagining, like, this tour going on, but it's in, like, the 1800s.
Right.
Like, what?
I know. No, that's gonna be us, though, in the future when, 100%. Like, we're gonna redo our podcast as ghosts.
No, 1000%. Mysteries, myths, and legends from the dead.
Yeah, but like possessing people. Our grandkids.
Heck yes, I'm so down. That's so funny. But back to Esther's tour. So after literally only 2 shows, during the second show, she had some really hostile reactions, and she was actually heckled so bad, and then a disturbance broke out within the crowd. So after that, they stopped touring. She was like, "No, I'm done, fam." So that also makes me think, like, okay, maybe she's not crazy, or maybe she is just like, I don't want to put myself out there this much, or maybe she's like, I thought it was gonna go better. I just don't know. I just don't know what she was thinking. But yeah. So after the tour, she returned to Amherst and started working for a man named Arthur Davison. But tragically, one night, Arthur Davidson's barn burnt down, and Esther was accused of arson. And she was then convicted and sentenced to 4 months in prison, but she was released after 1.
Oh my god, is there proof that she did this?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if people like just think it was her because she's got the demons, or if she actually did it. I don't know. But after this 1 month in prison, it changed her life, and Esther went on to live a completely normal life. She met a man, she fell in love, and everything, she claimed everything, like all the phenomena, stopped for good right after she got married. And she ended up getting married twice, actually, in her life, and had a son with each of her husbands. So she had 2 boys, and she ended up passing away on November 8th in 1912 at the age of 52, normally.
Okay.
And so it's still to this day very highly debated on whether or not this stuff was real. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of people who corroborated stories and, like, were like, I witnessed it with my own eyes. But, like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't even want to say yes or no, because I really don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of with you there. I'm leaning towards that she was faking it, though.
No, me too. No, me too, for
I don't know, because just the fact that it all stopped right when she, like, got married was like, okay.
Right.
What?
But also...
like, she just wanted... Do you think she was, like... She just wanted attention? Like, I'm
for sure. For sure. But I've also heard, like, ghost stories of, like, ghosts that were, like, in love with their, like, person that they've, like, decided to latch onto, and once they got in a relationship, sometimes it makes it worse, or sometimes they leave. So, I mean, I've heard that just, like, in my personal life. So, who knows?
Okay, also the fact that there were 4 ghosts possessing her.
So here's what I will give you my thought. I think that it started out real. The stuff that was happening to her. I think that there was probably a ghost at some point, or just, like, weird stuff was happening to her, or maybe, like, she was even causing it and didn't even know, like, after, like, the sexual assault that she experienced. You know, like, just trauma, like, working itself out. But then once it started, like, picking up traction, and she realized, like, oh, maybe I can make some money off of this, then they were like, all right, let's ramp it up. Let's call in Walter. Let's go on this tour. And then it just got out of hand. So that's what I think happened.
Yeah.
So I think a little mix of it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good theory. I feel like, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But,
jeez.
Yeah. Esther, girly pop. I wish you were still alive so I could ask you, because I would love to know. But that is...
Right, like...
the Great Amherst Mystery of Canada. So, I just don't know. It really is a mystery, because I don't know. I said it was more of a legend, but actually it's a mystery, because it's all of the things.
Know. Yeah, it's a little of both, because, you know, it's a legend of her being haunted, but it's like, was she?
Because was she? It's also a conspiracy, because was she a con woman? Don't know. Possibly.
Exactly. Yeah, she could have been, like, the best con woman.
Right, like the greatest actress of all time. People really believed her. I mean, she has me questioning everything like 200 years later, so I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, she did it. That's what I know. But, yes, there will be pictures of Miss Esther Cox online. On Instagram.
Yeah.
That's also online if you just want to Google it.
Yeah, true. There's also pictures of the devil pools.
Yeah.
So
I have to see that.
So there you go.
Yes, definitely go check out our Instagram and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify now. Ha 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 ha.
Yes.
Happy freaking New Year's. I hope 2022 is like half as good as it was 2021 was to us, podcast wise, you know?
I know. No, exactly. I feel like I have a good feeling about 2022, but I kind
Yeah.
of don't want to say it because
Yeah, you don't want to jinx
the
yourself.
past 2 years have been like,
It's been rough.
yeah, pretty rough. So hopefully this next year will be a lot better.
Yes.
We're going into this with our fingers crossed.
Yes,
honestly.
we are manifesting only great things in 2022, and we have a few surprises up our sleeve. We can't wait to show you.
Yeah, in the next few weeks. So
Yeah, be on the
Stay
lookout for
tuned.
that. But that's pretty much all I had for you for this week. What about you, Savannah?
yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy holidays and enjoy your days off of work.
Heck yeah, you know
There's
we
probably
will.
one more. I have one more day off for New Year's, so.
Yeah, me too. Yay. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you next week.
Okay, cue the music.